Good morning. It's Thursday of the first week in June here, 2015, and I think this is number 3 of our tea time sessions together. I just brewed, and I can actually have an open lid. This can be dangerous. There was a one time when I made a big cup of tea like this when I was at work. I spilled it all over my legs, and the experience was so bad that I had to go home and change my clothes and apply burn salve. So hopefully that's not going to happen. And this is actually take 2 of this video because I developed some kind of a frog in my throat in the last go round, and it was a very unappealing type of a moment that came up right in the middle of the video. So I'm going to spare you. I'm just going to create it anew. So today I am all nervously excited about this big trip I have coming up this weekend. And so I'm going to kind of weave that into the topic that I wanted to talk about today, which is a sense of community via new media. And, we all have communities that we're a part of in our daily lives. So, our families and friends and our workplaces and maybe groups that we're associated with via various interests that we have. But now in our current social media age, we can be part of larger global, really, communities that share common interests with us. And, when this all kind of was in its infancy, I never would have realized how meaningful that would become to me and how important. And so back, I don't know, maybe it was around 2008, somewhere in that range of time, I discovered podcasts. And I'm always a little behind the times with regard to technology. So that was around the time that I got my first iPod. So it was like this really big deal. And I'm like, why are these podcasts people care? I don't understand, I didn't understand what made it different from the radio, which, this is the olden days. So obviously I figured this out eventually, and I discovered SQPN, and that's the StarQuest production network, and they have a whole ton of podcasts that the network is affiliated with. And I thought to myself, this is absolutely wonderful. This is a way to feel a part of another community with common interests. So in this case, my faith. And, I felt like it was, these were my friends, kind of, and being the type of person that I am, which is to say, a very quiet, reserved sort of a person, just to give you a little insight into me. When I was in school, I was voted the shyest person in my senior class, so this is what we're dealing with here, right? And so I have a certain level of social anxiety about seeing people in real life and communicating with them in that way. But communicating with people via new media types of things and social media is so much more comfortable to me because I can really put my best foot forward and sort of vet my presence, if that makes any sense. And that has just been a huge leap for me in terms of, letting my guard down and feeling more comfortable. And I've really enjoyed it. And so that goes for both like social media, so I'm very active on Twitter. That's my favorite social media spot, as well as, these types of things I'm talking about, also podcasts. I'm sort of talking about 2 different things here, but getting to know people through blogs and podcasts through these new media mediums, and also getting to know the larger community that are associated with these projects. So, the podcasters themselves, the bloggers themselves, you follow them on Twitter. Other people who read or listen or follow their work are also active, say, on Twitter or Instagram or wherever it is that you like to be. And you then follow that, and so then there's this whole community of people that you get to know. And I love that, absolutely love that. And in terms of podcasts, I just, like I mentioned, I really felt like I was getting to know people, and that I was part of, it made me really feel like part of the global church, because it's like, oh wow, these people out other parts of the country, other parts of the world, and they're going through the same struggles and joys and, daily things that happen that I do. And that was such a wonderful feeling. And so I loved podcasts. Eventually, I came to love Twitter. It took some time for me to become more active in social media, and I got to know other people through SQPN. And so, but back to SQPN. That community has come to mean so much to me. The first podcast that I listened to with them were Father Roderick's Share the Break and Catholic Weekend and Catholic in a Small Town. And so I absolutely adore Father Roderick. I mean, he is just my favorite. He's just precious. And so as I get to know Father Roderick and listen to Catholic Weekend, I feel like I know Captain Jeff and Maria and Steve and Mac and Catherine and Catholic in a Small Town. And that became such an important part of my faith life, in a sense. Like, these are my friends in the faith. And I didn't consider, though, really interacting too much. It's like you do the follow thing on Twitter or on Facebook. But I never really thought about, leaving feedback or going to the conference that they sponsor every year, the Catholic New Media Conference, CNMC. Because, scary, then people will meet me in real life and they might not like me. That's the fear that I really have. It's like they might think that I'm awkward and, because I kind of am. I'm just going to say it. So I was nervous about that. But in 2013, so years after, I started listening to all the podcasts and becoming a little bit more active in social media and, following along with their lives. My sister said to me, I'd gotten her hooked on SQPN and Father Roderick, and my sister Shauna said, the CNMC is in Boston this year, and she lives only a couple of hours from Boston by car, and she said, I think I'm going to go. And I was like, oh, that's, wow. I thought, that's scary, but maybe I should go too. I mean, wouldn't it be nice to finally meet all of these people in person? But I was so nervous. But I went because I had her with me. And Shauna and I are, we're almost 9 years apart in age, but we're a lot alike. I really think so. And so we went together, and I could be shy with her because she was shy too. And so that really helped. And so we kind of flattened ourselves against the wall, and we're, kind of reserved, but we had a great time. We got to meet Father Roderick. We took a picture with him. We were real nerdy and kind of, fangirlish, and we had a lot of fun. And that night, after the conference, I said, everybody's getting together for dinner. Maybe we should go. And she was like, oh, I don't know, like, really, this is like our last opportunity to socialize. And, I was kind of loosened up by, just the warm feelings I had gotten from the conference. And I said, let's go. So we went, and I was just so glad that we did. I was very nervous. We didn't stay long, but we went over to say goodbye to Father Roderick, and then we ended up talking to some other people there, and I was like, this is wonderful. Why have I not done this before? This is my life. I always do this. So I decided when the next conference was announced, which is Sunday. I'm going Saturday, but it's Sunday. It's in Atlanta this year. So I'm going to go again. I'm going to, push myself. And Shauna can't go this year, so I'm going myself. So, I'm a little nervous. But I know more people now because I actually talk to them in person. And then, I now talk to them on social media more. And it's so wonderful. It's so meaningful. These are meaningful relationships, even when you don't get to see each other in person ever or very much. It is very, very meaningful when you share something important to you together mutually. And then you have that friendship, and you're praying for each other, and I knit things for people's kids, and it's such a wonderful friendship and sense of community. And so I can't wait to see everybody. I'm going to be seeing some people there in person that I only know from Twitter, and some people I met briefly in Boston in person again, and I'm really excited. And I will report in on how it all goes, and I can't wait for the fellowship and all the things that I want to learn. So quickly before I get to the devotion, because I'm running long, because I'm all chatty like usual, community. Write in and tell me about your feelings about online community and where you like to hang out on social media, and if you've had this tremendous sense of getting to know people and all of these things that I've mentioned, and if you have the same sort of thing that I have going on where you really like interacting with people on social media more than in real life. So let me know. But devotion of the week, Sacred Heart Novena, just started yesterday. So there's plenty of time if you didn't say the prayers yesterday to just catch up today. I have my little prayer card here. I get tons of prayer cards from, right in front of my face, CatholicPrayerCards.org. They have every saint you can imagine. You can order them in batches. I love them. And I'm going to be creating a chaplet of the Sacred Heart and making a recording and a video. I'm all excited. So lots of Sacred Heart stuff to come. So let's all pray together this week, whatever your intentions are, and meditating on Jesus' Sacred Heart. And I very much look forward to talking to you next week. I'll let you know how the conference goes, whether it be in a written or a video post. And I can't wait. So I will talk to you all soon. Have a great weekend. Bye.